Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. So glad you could join me for another circle time today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, my friends, do you remember the month of the year that we're in? May. Very good. We are in the month of May. Today's day of the week is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday, and tomorrow will be Saturday. Sing the Days of the Week song with me, please. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then comes Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. Now let's count to see what today's date is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Do you know what number comes after 14? Here's a hint. If 5 comes after 4, what number will come after 14? If you said 15, you would be correct. Now let's put it all together. So today's day of the week is Friday. The month of the year is May. And today's date is the 15th. Nice work. Let's move on to weather. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? All right, my friends, looking outside your windows, what kind of weather do you see outside? Do you see partly cloudy weather outside your window? A little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds? If so, this is what you choose. Do you see rainy weather outside your window? Or do you see a bright sunny day outside your window? Well, Miss December is going to choose sunny because that's what's outside my window. It is so bright and so sunny, and I'm so excited to be able to spend some time outside today, and I hope you get a chance to too. All right, my friends, we'll do a little movement to music, and then we'll cool down with a story. I think you guys will be excited for today's movement to music because it's one of your favorites. All right, so make sure you have some space to be able to move and do some jumping and twirling, okay, friends?
It's time to stand up. It's time to stand up. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to sit back down. That's right. It's time to sit back down. It's time to sit back down. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to jump up and down. It's time to jump up and down. It's time to jump up and down. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to rock from side to side. It's time to rock from side to side. Time to rock from side to side. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to spin around. It's time to spin around. It's time to spin around. No, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to shake hands with a friend. It's time to shake hands with a friend. It's time to shake hands with a friend. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to hop on one foot. It's time to hop on one foot. It's time to hop on one foot. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to jump and spin around. It's time to jump and spin. It's time to jump and spin. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to freeze like a statue. It's time to freeze like a statue. Time to freeze like a statue. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to clap your hands. It's time to clap your hands. It's time to clap your hands. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to clap and jump and spin. It's time to clap and jump and spin. Time to clap and jump and spin. Oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. It's time to sit back down. It's time to sit back down. It's time to sit back down. Yes, that's it. I've made up my mind. It's time to end this song.
right, my friends, thank you so much for moving around with me. Now let's cool off. So find a comfortable spot to sit, get cozy, and we are going to get into our read aloud for today. And today's read aloud is called When I Grow Up. And the author of this story is Al Yankovic. So I need friends to give me circle time ready. Eyes are watching, your ears are listening, your mouths are quiet, and your hands and feet are still. Okay, let's get started. When I grow up. I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon in Mrs. Krupp's class. And Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you know well, is the time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week, the subject, so special to me, was when I grow up, what am I gonna be? That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Mrs. Krupp said, "Who's ready to share?" you can guess who was there with his hand in the air. I raised both my hands just as high as they'd go, and I bounced up and down, and then, what do you know? Well, Mrs. Krupp picked me. Yes, me to go first. Oh, I was so happy I thought I would burst. I proudly stood up and began my oration concerning my voice for a future vocation. Esteemed friends and colleagues, and dear Mrs. Krupp, I know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my haute cuisine. I'll tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna, surrounded by kumquats and candied pig's feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Bon appetit. My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and my Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservations 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it, I'm certain you see, a world-renowned chef is what I'm gonna be. That's very nice, Billy, sweet Mrs. Krupp said. Who wants to be next? Maybe Susie or Fred? I said, hold the phone now. I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, 'cause I'm just getting started. See, maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, and even fetch sticks. Of course, all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt that I like, holy moly. I'll train them to pedal a bike really slowly. Then jump. Ooze through a huge ring of fire and crawl at a snail's pace across the high wire. Then finish by writing my name with their trails. That's right, I'll be Billy, the master of snails. Or else maybe I'll be the lath operator who makes the hydraulic torque wrench calibrator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade that's directly beneath the main radial sockets inside cooling systems on X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Say, here's an idea, perhaps just for laughs. I may make my living by milking giraffes. It's oh so cliche to get milk from a cow, and I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. That's just so silly, milking a giraffe. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Krupp said. Oh, please. I countered. How else could we make giraffe cheese? Now, don't interrupt me. I'm really not through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. Maybe I'll be a gorilla masseuse. Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse. Or a rodeo clown, or a movie director, or maybe professional pickle inspector, or big sumo wrestler, or hedge fund investor, or smelly pit sniffing deodorant tester. I don't think I'd like that job. Or I'll be an expert on nuclear fission, or else a foot model or friendly mortician, or waiter, or skater, or master debater, or dinosaur dusting museum curator, or TV repairman, or sidewalk sign saver, or part-time assistant tarantula shaver. And that's about when Mrs. Krupp said, Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of those things are you going to choose? I shuffled around and I looked at my shoes. And finally I said, my great-grandfather Bob's been a whole lot of things. He had a whole bunch of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and bingo announcer. You know what? He just turned 103, and he's still not quite sure what he wants to be. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly I'm hoping you'll cut me some slack if I leave my options open. Let's just wait and find out what my future brings. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things. And then the bell rang and we all went to lunch, and I was sipping my pineapple punch. I pondered professions that I'd like to enter, like brave firefighter or crazy inventor. Or maybe, just maybe now when I grow up, I can be a great teacher, like dear Mrs. Krupp. And that is the end. My friends, oh, and there's my friend Al on his little bike, being silly. All right, my friends, thank you for listening to our story. And why don't you think about some things that you'd like to be when you grow up? Billy had so many ideas, and I think it's awesome to have a big imagination and to dream up all the dreams and things that you could be, all the possibilities. But think about it. What are some things that you might want to be when you grow up? And you can have your grown-up put them in the comments either below the YouTube page or on our Facebook page, and tell me about all the fun and exciting things that you hope to do when you are one day a grown-up. All right, my friends, that is the end of our circle time for today. Thank you for joining me. As always, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your families, and most importantly, wash those hands. Bye.